YouTube, Facebook, and Tumblr fans, it's time to kick off another discography review. This time we will be discussing heavy metal band Trivium, and as the title says down below, their self-titled EP. So, this actually came out in 2003, 10 months before their original debut album Ember to Inferno hit the shelves. And a lot of these songs that are on the EP are actually the first versions, the original versions, moreover, of re-recordings that appear on their debut album. So, many of the differences and the comparisons between the two will be discussed on my Ember to Inferno review, so I'm just going to keep it basic. Basically, like what I think of these songs on here, and then once we get to the second album, we'll discuss comparisons. So, to start off, the first thing you will notice about this album is the production. The production is fantastic. The mix is absolutely perfect. Everything is exactly where it needs to be in regards to, say, the sound, the heaviness aspect, and the clarity. It's very clear, very heavy, and just distorted enough to where it just doesn't sound hollow, it doesn't sound too contrived, and everything just sounds very natural. You can definitely hear the culmination of every single genre, style, and influence overall in the band. So the chemistry is definitely audible here, and the first song on here is, of course, To Burn the Eye. The one thing, though, that I forgot to mention before, though, in regards to the instruments, is the drumming overall in this EP isn't exactly up to snuff with later releases, and the reason being is it has somewhat of a hollow tone to it for some reason. I don't know if it's the kind of drums they were using or just in the mix or how they mixed it, and that's especially prevalent on this first song, To Burn the Eye. And, you know, the drum structures, the drum melodies and patterns themselves are very well thought out, very just well put together and everything, but the sound, the overall just sound of the drums is just kind of lacking here. So the drum patterns, as I said, are very good, and that definitely doesn't fail us on To Burn the Eye. It begins with a very well thought out drum pattern and then just gets into sort of like a bluesy kind of guitar riff into the pre-chorus. I really like it. I was really surprised to hear that on a Trivium song, though, to be honest. So a lot of these songs I am like just first getting into. I heard the Ember to Inferno versions much before, long before I heard these ones, but once I found out that they were different, I was just blown away by it. So, you know, I actually kind of like these versions a little bit better, but as I said before, we will save comparisons for that video. So, the next one is, of course, Requiem, and I believe this is my favorite one on here, and it's just very heavy, very thrashy, and the way he enunciates everything with the screams is just very crisp and very clear, and the cleans overall on this song are very, very nice. So, it's not like he's trying to play a million miles an hour or go really fast or really aggressive. It is an aggressive song, but, you know, he knows when to hang back a little bit when the time is appropriate. So, one of my favorite songs on here, Requiem, and if you're getting into this EP for the first time, then definitely either listen to it in the, you know, chronological order, or just, you know, listen to Requiem, because this is definitely just top pick for me anyways. So the next one is, of course, Fugue, and on Ember to Inferno it's called Fugue a Revelation. So really fast-paced song, actually reminds me of something a little bit on, you know, Justice combined with a bit of the Megadeth intensity a little bit. It's very fast, very ferocious, and just very complex in nature. I really like the screaming on here, and it's just a well constructed song, to be honest. The next one is The Storm, or My Hatred, excuse me. My Hatred, this one, it feels disjointed at times, to be honest. It's not one of my favorite songs, but I do like the structure in places, and I do like the guitar tone used, as well as the drumming melodies on here are just very well thought out and very well constructed. But the overall just, you know, construction of the song and the structures that are put together just don't really match up for me. And while I like it in parts, it just seems too disjointed for me to really make it a standout track. So the next one is The Storm, and this one's a little bit faster and a lot of really intense screams in it, and the guitar patterns are very, very recognizable, and I just like the structure overall. Great song. The next one is Sworn, and Oh my gosh, if you thought that the last ones sounded like Metallica songs, this one definitely takes the cake. This sounds exactly like Hetfield's kind of snarling, like screaming growl kind of thing, but a little bit deeper and a little bit more aggressive in nature. So it's not the fastest song on the album, but it's definitely not the slowest, and it's very very heavy, excuse me, and just a very good structure overall, just a very good sounding just riff structure. So I do like this song a lot. It's another one of my top picks, and just kudos to them. So, and the last one is, of course, Demon, and this one was actually re-recorded for Ember to Inferno on a bonus disc. So, you know, when I first got into this, this is the first song that I heard, because, of course, I do not have the bonus edition of Ember to Inferno, so the only version I had heard for the longest time was the one on the debut EP. So I gotta hand it to him, though. It's a really slow song. It's slower, more mid-tempo, I gotta say. Not exactly too slow, not too fast. It's just right in the middle. And I really like it. It's a great way to close off the EP. So up until now, Trivium basically were just, you know, a little bit of Metallica, a little bit of like melodic metalcore with some thrash metal, death metal thrown in there, lots of really fast-paced drums, and everything just sounds really good. So I'm going to have to give this album a solid 9 out of 10, because it is one of my favorite Trivium releases, and a solid start to a solid career. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Thanks for watching. Keep calm and rock on.